Alrighty, so in the last video, we set up our player stats, player attribute set, and view model. So what we want to do now is go ahead and create some UI so that way we can bind to our points and actually see them, well, on screen. So to begin, let's go to our zombies, core, UI, and we're going to make a new widget blueprint of the type user widget. So we'll do WBP underscore points. Or we'll just do points. So let's add that. And we want to go to Window, View Models. We want to add a view model, player stats. Let's select it and change the creation type to property path. So we need to make that property path. So we've actually done this, if you recall, from the interaction message. So get interaction message view model. So basically we just get the player state, get the view model interaction message, and return it. Well, we're doing the exact same thing here. So we need a new function. Let's call it get player stats view model. And we want to make it a pure and const function. This also needs to return the view model player stats and name it return value. Compile, save, back to the designer and select our player stats, and we can now select the get player stats view model. And that makes everything happy. So in here, we need to get the owning player. So owning player, which returns our player controller. So from here, we can grab the player state. Once we have the player state, we need to cast it to the SKG player state. So we can simply grab the get player, what was it? It was something view model. So get view model player stats and plug that into the return value. And if that fails, we just return a null pointer. So now that we have that, let's add a text to our screen, and let's just name it text block underscore points. So from here, we can add a binding. So let's add a widget binding to TB underscore points. And we want, first off, because we are using a float, we want to convert it to text. So we need a conversion function. And we want to go, let's search for text. So to text from float. Select that. And then the value is going to be a binding. And it's going to be our player stats, points, and select. Okay, so binding something something conversion. Let's check it. Oh, right. So we're not actually modifying the TB points widget itself. We need to modify a specific property, which in our case will be text. So TB points, text. And there we go. So now let's go back to our WBP HUD. And we want to add the points. Let's just go ahead and throw it in a vertical box because we are going to potentially have more later, so we can see everybody else's. Dock to the bottom right. Set the alignment to, let's do 1.1 and 1.1. That's not much of a gap at all. Let's do 1.5 on the Z. And let's just throw it in there. So let's grab our points widget and throw it into the vertical box. So now if we hit play, so we have our points down there, which is 0. That is fine. We just wanted to make sure it was an actual value. So that means our binding and everything is good to go. So let's also do it as a client so we can see our own points. And again, we got 0. So that is all I wanted to do for this video. I just wanted to get everything from the points up onto the HUD so that way we can actually see a change. So a way we can test it is if we go to our player pawn. Let's do so on left mouse button, let's change it to G. We want to grab the ability system component, so get ability system component. We want to apply a gameplay effect to self, and we just want to make a quick test gameplay effect. So new blueprint class, gameplay effect, and G_test points. So here for the modifiers, let's modify points. And for magnitude, let's do 125. So let's use that for the gameplay effect class, and that should be it. So when we press G, not as a client, we need to be at the server. We press G, we have 125, 250, 375, so on and so forth. It keeps expanding. So that's what we wanted. So we can see it's actually going through, updating nice and responsively, so we are good to go. So once we get to 10,000, I imagine 100,000 is going to go over screen, so we might need to correct that a wee bit. But anyhow, let's go back to our HUD with the vertical box. We want to size the content, and that should actually help it. So this way, if our WBP points, the text is, where is our text at? I can't click it because it's too small. Oh, never mind. It's because it's being bound. Duh. But it should basically kind of resize to fit whatever we have in here. So as we add more elements, you can see how that kind of works. And then same thing goes if they get wider and such. But regardless, that takes care of our HUD. That takes care of our test. We know that that works. And we are good to go. So now that that is out of the way, we can save, and I will see you in the next video. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can also get early access to this entire series.